Welcome to Goonies World. My name is Goonie, also known as Colin, and I am joined, as always, by Meanie, also known as Ryan.
Hello.
And Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean.
Hey.
And surprise! There's going to be lots of surprises in this series. We have a special guest star, and his name is the good Dr. H, also known as Zach.
Hey, that's me.
Surprise,
Motherfucker.
That's right.
And there will be lots of surprises, I certainly hope. That is kind of the nature of the game we're playing. I will be guiding everyone through this sort of I keep wanting to say interstellar, but it's not really interstellar. It is all within one small familiar solar system. But there will be some kind of attempt, I think, at a heist on a nearby planet. We're going to be running through the Venusian Job. Running through, I say, as though it was written as an adventure, which it was not. It's more of a scenario creator, which we have largely already set up. Which is I should have mentioned. Did I say Jason Tochi? He wrote the thing. So our sort of motley gang of wannabe heisters have been sort of put vaguely into contact with each other, Earthside, by this guy Julian, and are meeting up under the surface of Venus, which is kind of it's a very rich colony for the most part, but it's also, I mean, obviously there are also people who have to mop the floors and wait tables and pick the food and stuff, and so there is definitely a sort of working underclass, but those people, I mean, because the real estate is so expensive, they're packed in. They may share like 4 people sharing a bed in like a tiny little tube, and we're sleeping in shifts, that sort of thing. Almost like those Japanese like pod hotels, except this is like where they, live. But that is all kept out of sight, out of mind for the vast majority of people who, live on this, or it's the people who live on the surface are the absolute richest of the rich, because obviously they've got to deal with the insane atmospheric pressure and the sulfuric acid rain and all sorts of things. So they've, it's very, very expensive to live on the surface. So only the absolute upper crust even try it. Most people, for the most part, are subterranean, as you are right now, and as the spaceport which you have landed at. I don't know whether you all came in together. It doesn't really matter. You've all been suggested to meet with each other at a very large and fancy restaurant called Miixxie's Milky Way. I'm sorry, Miixxie's Milky Way. Jesus, Miixxie's Milk Bar and Buffet, which is at the base of the casino, which is not, in fact, under the surface of the planet as so much of the colony is. In fact, it is in orbit, or I want to say geostationary, but it's not geo because it's not Earth. But anyway, it's in a space elevator. 2 banks of space elevators rise up into orbit to service the station there, where it is in the skies above the atmosphere. And anyway, so you've coming from the spaceport. I'm just imagining this sort of fairly bustling little street traffic area. There's very nice apartments, very sort of like these pod hotels off in the distance, where the elite make their residence. But this restaurant is kind of massive, and there's a giant neon sign that says Miixxie's Milk Bar, and Buffet kind of is smaller underneath it. And Miixxie's is giant pink with Milk Bar and white neon underneath it. And I should specify it is spelled, and I don't know I'm not sure why or who thought of this, but it's spelled Miixxiie'. And I know Colin was going to ask at some point, so I figured I'd just specify now.
Yeah, I was also going to ask if they have milk on tap.
Yes, they do. As a matter of fact, that is kind of the defining feature of the restaurant. And but before we get too far into this, let us see who we are actually talking to here and dealing with. Let's start with Sean. Who is your character? What are they about?
Oh, my name's Skip Intro, all right. But you know that. Hey, you might know that. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was on you might know me from a sitcom I had. Hey, what the fuck just happened? You remember that? No? It was right there, the season and a half before it got canceled. And every week, some crazy shit would happen. And I'd say, hey, what the fuck just happened? I'd look at the camera and say that, right? We had a lot of fun with it, man. But, no, it's, yeah. Before that, I did do one season on The Hot and the Heartless. I was the pool boy. That's how I got noticed. Anyway, though, yeah, what the fuck just happened got canceled, and, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. Producer told me it wasn't because of me. It was, network politics, man. And, so, but I've been keeping busy. I've been a panelist on the game show What's in My Pants a few times. And, I did those commercials for Dauntless Insurance, and where I got the pet Flurf, and then of course you saw the pop blocker medication. I did that commercial. That's for the priapism treatment, and I did those. I keep busy, and I just like to have a good time wherever I go, make people feel good. But I'm not as dumb as people think I am, and the truth is, between you and me, I done run through most of that money, Made some bad investments. Wasn't my fault. My accountant told me it wasn't my fault, but,
Never is your fault, is it?
No, I just want to have a good time. But, no, I'm not as dumb as I look. I'm a people person, and make people feel good. So I'm ready. I'm ready to meet these bros that Julian hooked me up with and see what kind of fellas I'll be hanging out with. All right, we're going to have a good time. I know it. I'm looking at y'all. I know we are.
Did you give your name?
I was just about to ask.
I thought
that.
I said that, but maybe I skipped the intro. Name's Skip Intro. That's my name.
Okay.
It's not my real name, but I've been skipping. Even my mom calls me Skip Intro now. So it's a good name though.
All right. And Colin, who you got?
Yes, Laz Durgan is my name, but I will be going as a shadow. I will not be giving out my real name, most likely. And, I've done a little bit of heisting before in my time, and, so I bring a little bit of professionalism, and I hope that, my partners on this job are also going to be professionals, because I want a nice, clean heist. I want to get in and out with no issues. And, so, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to go in, and he's probably going to get there early, because he is professional. He's going to set up at one of the tables, in the back or whatever.
Okay, I think that's totally reasonable. And like I said, it's a huge place, so there's no shortage of. And even when it's relatively busy, it's not like it's going to be full just because of how big it is. So, there's no shortage of dark little alcoves you can sequester away in.
Yeah, for now he's just going to be, he has a disguise, of course, but he will not be wearing it just yet. He will be wearing all black, of course, just like with a little black, well, probably kind of like what I'm wearing now, just a black hat.
All right, sounds good. And Zach, what about you, man?
So I assume, say Skip Intro is kind of walking into the joint at this point, right? And standing next to him is, if you could tell an AI bot to give you a picture of the most normal-looking dude ever, this would be that picture of a guy that AI bot would spit out for you. Just the most average, symmetrical, normal, non-exceptional-looking human being of the exact average height, weight, dimensions, everything. And he would probably come up to you and say, well, my name is Kyrie Maris, and yes, I know that name. You've probably heard that last name before, Maris. Yes, the Maris microcomputer and electronics family. I share that last name, although myself am not a full blood member. I could tell you the exact percentage of my DNA that matches with that family. But just to say, I don't want to bore you in this moment. It's not full. It's very little. I'm a bit of a numbers. And he kind of trails off and looks at the lights and starts counting light bulbs in the room and stuff. Sorry, I'm a bit of a numbers guy, and you see, and really into the electronics and the computers. And well, I've already talked too much. This makes me very uncomfortable to talk to people I don't know. And anywho, I'm here with Skip, and we need some money, so we need to find our way. We're meeting a contact, I believe. So we should probably do that.
And I don't know if you've been given exact description of Shadow, but I assume you probably have been told to be looking for somebody on their own in the shadows.
I'm looking for a fellow with a black hat, man. Black hat. Ha-ha!
There are precisely 17 individuals in this restaurant now wearing black hats.
Oh, my God. All right, okay, numbers. Just
all right, I'm over here, you fucking idiots.
Hey, black hat. All right.
Hold on, I must go through the buffet, and I see we paid an amount for these tickets. I must get exactly that amount of food to bring back. So, give me 6 minutes and 13 seconds to get my bounty, and I will be back with that.
And the buffet itself is very large. In fact, basically rings the entire outer wall of the restaurant, and you've got various colonial sort of cuisines and everything. Excuse me. There's probably the largest single buffet setup is this sort of home style earth food stand with hunks of meat on cutting boards with carving station dude attendants cutting off. I don't know if you've ever been to a buffet with that, but it's there's was that enough? You want some more? Cut off some more. Side dishes and a big salad bar, reminiscent almost of the 80s or something like a Wendy's, super bar, I think they called it. And that's kind of ringing the outside wall. And then the sort of next layer is kind of the tables where you will be sitting. And then in the very middle, there's a sort of spiraling out from the center is this milk bar, right? Which is literally various types of milk, every kind of milk you can imagine. There's chocolate milk and goat milk and strawberry milk and almond milk and skim milk and whatever, but all on tap. And if you want anything else to drink besides milk, you can get it, but you'll have to ask somebody for it.
Well, right. When I said on tap, I meant straight from the source. Is that what? Oh,
well, there's not. You want to be udder sucking, man? Really?
That's a good one.
Well,
udder sucking. I'm gonna write that down. Udder sucking.
You udder sucker.
No, he had in mind a human. Yeah, but
I totally missed that joke when it was originally made, and I apologize for my ignorance.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will just have to deal with getting it from tap from a milk barrel or whatever they keep it in.
Milk keg. Yeah. Got to keep the lines clean. Don't want to get sour milk.
Yeah, and think I'll go with, like, something exotic. Some exotic flavor of milk.
Macadamia nut milk, perhaps? I don't know if that's even a thing.
Well,
But I assume you could take any nut and put it in a blender and make milk out of it with water.
yeah. Pistachio milk. That sounds good.
Yeah, that's a slight green color to
Yeah.
it.
So that's what I'm getting.
Just a drink for Shadow. And I know obviously Kyrie's wandering around getting his whatever $6.17 or whatever it was.
Yeah, well, and he would. I failed to mention as we were introducing that he has like a small duffel bag with him, or a backpack, some sort of a satchel, in which he keeps his personal possessions. One of which that he would pull out in this situation is a small scale that could be used to weigh grams of food or ounces of food. And he would be, especially at, I'm imagining kind of like the prime rib station or whatever the version of that would be here.
It's absolutely prime rib station.
Yeah, that he is demanding to the gram the exact amount of prime rib that he needs for his nutritional needs that day, as he's figured out. No more, no less, and make sure that there's no, huge slabs of fat attached or anything like that.
I'm just imagining the carving guy just getting his tongs and putting some on there and then looking at him is that enough? And keep going. He's there's more than that enough.
It would appear you are still 0.36 ounces short. I would appreciate my full nutritional regimen.
And of course, as he'll just keep going until you're done, until you say so.
And then go from there to the vegetables, and he would very meticulously pick out the specific carrots and pieces of not artichoke, that's not the word I'm looking for, squash or zucchini or whatever that he wants, and a requisite number of leaves of lettuce to make his salad, and all that kind of jazz. So, however, very quickly, very efficiently, and very much in his seat within the 6 minutes and 13 seconds or whatever it was that he promised he would be. So,
very, very, with it kind of guy, very cognizant of everything that's going on and very punctual. I like it. Is Skip Intro doing anything, getting any drinks or food or anything, or just...
What I got, I'm going to get one of the big plates, right? When they say wrong plate, and I'm going to, no, give me the big plate. And I'm going to fill it with bacon, all right? I'm not ashamed. I'm going to get a plate full of bacon, kind of like a mound of bacon, right? I think there's UFOs coming, and I'm going to make a mountain out of bacon like the fella did. And, I'm going to have that, but I'm going to put runny cheese all over the top is what I'm going to do. And we got Brandy Alexander. In fact, I'm going to get two. I'm going to slam one, and I'll nurse the other one. And I'll go back to where Black Hat is, meet up with him in Numbers, see what's going on, get this adventure started. Woo!
Just to make this clear, in my brain, you have a giant platter of bacon covered with runny cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it comes right out of the pump. I make a spiral of cheese on the pile of bacon.
Did you ever go to that Fuddruckers where they had you could just pump out the cheese, the cheddar cheese sauce on you use it to dip your fries in?
I can't even. I have a whole Fuddrucker story that would take 35 minutes. So yes, short answer.
So it sounds like the next episode of Goody's World needs to, whatever you guys do after this space heist, you all need to play something that happens in a Fuddruckers.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Yeah. I guess, well, and not to take up any more time with the Fuddruckers, but what happened? They're gone. They're all gone. That's so sad.
Oh.
I loved Fuddruckers so much. Oh. Anyway, so you have all coalesced around this table, and you kind of have a pretty good idea. Oh, I made it plosive. You have a pretty good idea of what vaguely you need to do, but in terms of exactly how you're going to do it, I don't know that there's really been much discussion. So that might be the kind of thing worth kind of talking about. And in the meantime, I'm going to roll some dice on my side over here and just see if there is anybody particularly interesting around.
New friend, I would suggest you drink that milk within the next 18 minutes and 14 seconds before it starts to inoculate bacteria harmful to you.
What's with this fucking guy? I appreciate your attention to detail and all that. That might come in handy, but, geez, you gotta relax some.
Hey, you're going to need to know it, man, when you got so many seconds to get past the security camera before it turns back around. You know, I'll tell you, Julian vouches for this guy, man. He's a little crazy. But, you know.
Well,
I am 99.17% sane. Thank you very much.
That's better than me, man. Better than me.
Because what I see right now is a fucking clown show. All right? You guys are not what I was expecting. I was hoping for some professionals, and I got some clowns in here from the circus.
Well, I think you just elected yourself boss.
Well, there was never any doubt I was going to be the boss. All right? I've done jobs before. If you didn't know, now you know. I come from Vegas. I've done some smaller job. Nothing as big as this. This is the big one, guys. All right? So let's get down to business here. If you guys, are done getting all your fucking grub and all that, let's actually talk about the heist that we're going to do. All right?
All right. Vegas, by the way, love it. You ever seen Foosball with the Stars? I did an episode of that. They shoot it in Vegas. You probably know that, though.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. All right. No, so yeah, but hey, that's what I heard. The numbers, good with the numbers, and I've heard that old Black Hat is good with the plan. You're the man with the plan. You're the pro.
All right, so I need to know. I don't care about your real stupid fucking names. All right, what is your fucking monikers that we're going to use? All right, well, let's get that straight first. All right, now I'm Shadow. You will address me as Shadow. I'm not going to tell you who I am, where I come from. Just know I'm kind of mobbed up, as you could say.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Sitcom, what shall I call you?
You don't want to call me Skip Intro?
No, I'm not. Is that your showbiz name?
Yeah.
Well, then no, I'm going to call you by something that, you can't be identified. Have you never fucking done crime before in your life?
Well, I hide in plain sight, fella. But no, I need a good code name, okay? Well, I like Mr. Shine. I always like that one. But if I was going to go into, a little stage magic, I might try that. But you can call me Mr. Shine. You got to have some kind of cool code name.
Yeah, that's Heist 101.
Okay, Mr. Shine it is. Mr. Shine. I got to try it on for size.
All right, and now what, do you want to be called Numbers or what?
Well, my entire life I've been called Kyrie, so I would prefer just to be called Kyrie. It doesn't make any analytical sense to call me anything else.
Kyrie, but that's your real name, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's your fucking funeral or jail time or whatever it's going to be. I don't care, as long as I get out of there scot-free.
I already forgot what you just said your name was. I'm going to call you Numbers.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Numbers.
There is a probability that I will not recognize that you are trying to communicate.
Oh, jeez, he's one of these guys.
However, I will attempt to remember and be able to respond accordingly.
All right.
I think.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, man, I love this already.
So what's step number 1?
Well, okay, so we've done a little bit of, at least I have, a little bit of case in the joint, as we call it in the business. All right, so we know a few things. We know where the goodies are, and that's the vault, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could waste our time with getting individual credits from individual gamblers or whatever, but we want to go for the big stuff. If we're going to, do this job and retire, which is what I want to do because my fucking wife has been nagging me,
No, don't even tell me.
and I got stupid kids to feed. They're always wanting stuff in their mouths. I got a wife and I got kids that are always on my case. So, I thought my past jobs would have me, set for life, but that's not true. I went through that pretty fast, just like this guy went through his showbiz money. Now I got to do this job, and hopefully never see any of your stupid faces ever again.
I was going to invite you over for Christmas.
Not a chance.
Well, you see, this person I'm now supposed to call Mr. Shine, who I know as Skip Intro, and I have found ourselves into a bit of a deficit with a certain individual that is requiring us to reimburse that deficit in very short order.
It's probably
And so,
Julian.
Yes, I believe that was the name, Julian, yes. And so it's very important to us that we also are able to get into this vault and retrieve what we need to retrieve to settle that debt so we can move on.
Yeah, and then some. Debt plus. I'm in for the long haul, baby. In and out, one and done. Ha! So I'm right with you.
Because if we do this right, we'll actually, after you pay off your debts, we'll actually be able to live on the surface of Venus, I believe. If we want to.
Well,
Very possible.
just think how far that money is stretching, like Greece or something, though. You got to think outside the box.
It would purchase a very large amount of grease, I would think, yes. I could do the calculations for you if you would like me to. If it's several tons, I would.
I would like you to. I'd like you to take a notebook and go in the other room and work that out.
Oh,
for
no
me,
notebook
numbers.
needed. Give me a minute. And his eyes kind of roll back, and he start. It's almost like he's like an old timey computer, like computing, and you can hear it out the side of the old Commodore, and he comes back. Well, it would take exactly 1.762 cubic tons of grease you could buy with what I am projecting our excess to be after we pay off our debt to Julian.
That's a lot of grease.
That is a lot of grease. And before I rolled earlier, as you may have noticed, to kind of see who might be around. And before you get too far into making a very specific plan about what to do, I should mention that you do see a couple potentially interesting, or maybe not. I should say, to be clear, and I don't know how clear I made this to you guys before, but to make it clear to you now and to the listeners also, I don't have any solutions to any problems, really. There's just shit that I'm rolling on a table, and you can do with it what you want. But there's no set path here. It's kind of a sandbox where you do whatever the hell you want. So, with that in mind, at a table just on the other side of the central milk bar area from you, you see two guards from the casino. Now, I should mention this restaurant and the casino are not affiliated in any way. The restaurant opened later. Sort of was opened by an independent person, not related in any way to the casino. Partly because the casino didn't have a restaurant, and so they were like, "Well, shit, there's going to be so many people and tourists and shit. We'll make a fucking restaurant." And so that's kind of why it's here and so big. But anyway. Aside from that, there are two of the casino guards are eating here, apparently off duty at the moment, you're assuming. But they're sitting there eating. And they're too far away. You can't, if they're discussing anything, and you assume they probably are, their mouths are moving, but you can't hear them from where you are right now. But, I mean, without feeling like I'm stating things that are too obvious, that could be useful in several potential ways. Also, just coming into the buffet, having paid, and looking around for a seat, you see a figure that strikes you as of potential interest, primarily because of the way they're dressed. This appears to be a person, excuse me, of Asian ethnicity, a tall, skinny man, but his clothing is very sort of ostentatious, and he's like wearing this like shiny, almost patent leather suit with this like sequined tie, and he's got this ostentatious looking top hat with like a coat with tails, and you know, this like boots, and it's just very fancy looking. I mean, even for where you're at, you know, which is a fancy enough place as it is. Other than that, just a couple minor potential. There's a young lady just a couple tables down from you who just a young. But the only thing particularly notable about her is that she's got like a plate full of food, but doesn't look like she's eating any of it. She actually looks like she's holding back tears. I don't know how interesting that is, but that is. You know, that's what's going on there. She just looks very upset about something. And then opposite her, kind of in the other direction, another rather well-dressed, not as ostentatiously as the Asian-looking guy, but a rather nicely dressed young guy in a sort of fancy, not fancy, I guess, but sort of not even formal, really, more like business, just solid business sort of attire, like a suit. And he's shoveling food into his mouth, but he's got this setup on his table. He's like this sort of briefcase-sized portable computer that he's in between bites of food. He's like furiously sort of typing away at, and looking very intently at you know, as though he's very involved in something or other. And I would say those are the four of all the people in here, and there are many, many more people as well. But of all the people in here, those are the four that strike you as the four most interesting.
Yeah, I think that woman there might have been stood up. She looks like she's on the verge of tears, and she's not eating. Maybe someone, you know, was supposed to meet her and didn't. I don't know if that matters, but I think our main concern here is those security guards, because I don't know if they are just having a nice meal, or if we've already been. This could be a whole fucking setup, like entrapment or something. Oh, you know what? I'm starting to have doubts about this whole thing. First you two clowns show up, and then the security guards, and
it's gonna be all right, man. It's gonna be all right. You gotta look.
I will say, in defense of the security guards, this is the single closest place to get a meal to the casino where they would be working. So, you know, I mean, because there's nowhere in the. I mean, you ride and it's like it's like half an hour, 45 minutes to get up the elevator. I mean, then these things go pretty fast, but you're talking, you know, hundreds of miles into the above the atmosphere. So, you know, I mean, and okay, that's not entirely true, because you can get like cold pre-prepared sandwiches and shit like at the bar in the casino. But yeah. I mean, who wants to eat fucking egg salad sandwich every day? I mean, so it'd be hard to blame them for coming down and getting an actual like meal at the closest place. So it's not. Is it suspicious? Okay, fair enough, sure. But is it like so suspicious that I think you should just abandon everything right now? I mean, probably not.
It seems to reason to me, thinking about the situation, that Mr. Shadow over here, that perhaps those guards might be carrying around some items that could be of use to us in our future mission, in terms of keys or key cards or other things that might be useful for us to navigate once we get into the casino, and perhaps it's not wise to write it off as a danger so much as an opportunity.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, if they're talking shop, you know, maybe anything you overhear, any minor thing, you never know, it'll come in handy, you know, like any little detail. But all these, you see all the same interesting-looking folks I see, it's probably worth checking out every single one of them. I love this guy. Look at this guy with the top hat. You know.
I remember back when before you lost all your money on poor decisions, you used to dress much the same.
Yeah, I
Mr. Shine.
got a nice job. I'm wearing an Ocho Taylor. Right now, his jacket, it's an original. And my character has the alarming, appearance in his outfit. It's all swirly and psychedelic, but it's like a blazer. So I got a good in with, snazzy dressers. I could talk to that guy.
Well, that guy, I should say, has since you guys have been talking and stuff, selected a table. It's not super close to, but it's close, close enough. And has since now he's like wandering around with a plate, going to all the different buffet stations and filling it up with shit.
If you're gonna go talk to that gentleman, I just have to state the obvious. I mean, don't give away the whole fucking thing.
I'm not going to give away nothing. I'm not going to give away anything. No, he's just an interesting cat, that's all. It could be nothing. Why don't you go eavesdrop on those guards or something?
Yeah, well, anyone read lips? I could read a different kind of lips, you know what I'm saying? But, not...
Ew.
Did you just say ew?
I did.
I took me
That
a
is,
second.
you find that gross?
Took me a second to do that.
That is quite blue humor. I do not appreciate. However, I will overlook it to
Pink humor.
knowing. So hopefully not blue humor.
Oh, that's even worse. Jesus Christ.
All right.
I can work around some yeast infection.
I am.
Why do you keep making it worse?
I know. It just all right. It's been,
nothing
been fun
bothers me.
podcasting with you all.
That was the last episode of the old.
Yeah,
I
we
did a
just
few
officially
episodes.
canceled
Self-canceled.
somehow. Yeah. For good reason in this case.
Oh, man, glad Lynn wasn't here for this one. Jesus Christ.
I get us back on the rails. I am one who has some powers. Well, not powers, of course. That's crazy, but an amount of skill with observation beyond your average human being. So perhaps I could be of use in this lip reading thing you suggest.
Yeah, just, maybe they are talking shop, saying, oh, we gotta put in they got a new code for the fucking vault doors. It's 6-5, whatever the fuck it is, and you could read that or something.
That would be very poor of them as to their employer to just outrightly be talking in such a fashion. However, some people are not as smart as me, or you, I guess, and so perhaps that's a good idea. I will excuse myself for a second, and he kind of pushes his massive plate of food away that he hasn't eaten even a little bit of, and just kind of get up and kind of walk, saunter, and then sit in the booth next to those gentlemen and just kind of sit there straight up and just listen for a bit, see if there's anything he can see. And he could probably see across so he could at least see one of them. But just kind of sit there and not really do much else.
Well, that's not suspicious.
Well, they don't pay any attention to you, as far as you can tell. I mean, they don't even seem to notice that you've gotten up and moved at all.
No, the guy's so bland, he's like not pictured.
That's part of the issue, but also it appears as though they're not specifically looking for anyone in particular or whatever. They're just having fucking lunch or whatever. And the first thing you see, which is you don't even need to roll or anything for, because it's obvious as you get close and walk by, they do indeed have ID badges clipped to their uniforms at the waist, sort of like at the belt. And of course they have uniforms. They're wearing them. Getting them out of a uniform might be tricky and require super ballsy bit of planning or whatever, but it certainly could be done, I would imagine. And you sit down, and first of all, as you walk by, they're clearly talking about something. They're kind of talking about it in almost like hushed conspiratorial tones, and kind of as you pass by, one of them's like talking to the other one, and he's like, man, you gotta feed him every freaking hour, man, every freaking hour, and you gotta keep him under sedation, and it's just like if the IV levels aren't right, and then you got I mean, like I said, you gotta feed him. It's just babysitting. It's fucking babysitting. That's all it is, man. Bro, I just hope you don't get stuck on feeding duty.
And I would say that Kyrie would have, so again, kind of referenced his duffel bag or backpack or whatever that he has, and then he would have at this point kind of pulled out like a small notebook or log book or something like that, and it's just kind of sitting there, just kind of writing down words and basically trying to transcribe the conversation word for word best that he can.
Well, you certainly got the sense that there's, for some reason, these guards are being randomly chosen to go feed and sedate something somewhere for some reason.
Weird.
They probably got giant tigers down there somewhere.
But Kyrie will just kind of sit there again. He's listening, but then also, I don't imagine he has like a photographic memory, but I imagine he has a pretty close to photographic memory, and just kind of as subtle as he can be, trying to just give them the once over top to bottom. And I don't expect obviously you to know every single detail of everything they're wearing now, but just for future reference in case we need to pull something, just what their uniforms specifically look like, what the badges look like, what their equipment looks like in terms of are they carrying any sort of weapons, are they carrying any sort of identification, if they have name badges on that he could pull those names, write those names down, or if they have employee numbers or something like that he could write down the convention that those are in so he could theoretically make one up if he has to, or just different things like that.
Well, I can tell you, just kind of without going into excessive detail, the most obvious things are that the employee IDs, you can't specifically read the actual numbers that they're in, but the format is just a 10-digit integer. They don't have name badges, etc., but the ID badges that they're carrying are, they're ID badges. They're like, you presume some sort of RFID type technology or whatever, to grant access to various places within the casino, and they are armed, not with lethal weapons, but with like non-lethal stun guns. And the uniforms generally, other than that, they're kind of just gray jumpsuits. Is basically it.
Are they
say security on them?
Yeah, does it look like just say security? So it's not like a outside contractor.
No,
it's like actual. Okay,
they're employees. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, is he, if he comes back, I don't know how long he's going to sit there, but I'm sure he will relay this information.
Yeah, I would say he would probably be doing this while you all are doing whatever with other people that are around.
Yeah, you go talk to that girl you're so interested in. Give her a little,
Well, I fail to see how this is going to benefit us in our job. But hey, you don't need to tell me twice to go talk to a beautiful lady. Anything but my wife.
You can go talk to the computer guy. The solid suit.
Perhaps
no,
she is crying. Perhaps she is crying because she has an excess of milk that you so desperately need.
Yeah, I bet that's it. Yeah, why don't I go saddle up next to this young, beautiful woman, and, we'll see where that goes.
All right, well, you walk over in her direction, and are you just going to sit down at her table?
Yeah.
Because I figured that was the most ballsy thing to do rather than just try to talk to her. So she's crying, obviously, or trying at least not to cry. And she's got this kind of, plate of some vegetables and whatnot in front of her that looks like it's been barely touched at all. And she just kind of looks up at you with her kind of puffy eyes, and she's like, "Do you need something?"
Well, I couldn't help but see that you're upset. I hate to see a woman upset. And if there's anything I can do for you, you let me know. My name is Laz. Laz Durgan.
Well, Laz, you say anything, eh?
Oh, yeah.
How much money you got on you?
Well, I got all the money you need, okay?
Is that right? And she starts to look kind of hopeful.
Yeah. Yeah, does that make you feel better? A man with some money? Yeah, probably, you're probably crying. This is you tell me if I'm right. My theory is you shacked up with a man, ain't got no money, no job, no prospects, and they didn't even bother to show up on your little date. And now here I am. Isn't that just good fortune for you?
Well, it might be good fortune, but your story is a little bit far from what actually happened, I'm afraid. By the way, my name is Riley. Not from around here, in case you couldn't tell. I'm from Earth. Kind of embarrassing to admit, but...
Oh, well, yeah, that's nothing to be ashamed of. But if you want to, maybe, increase your status, are you wanting to live here on Venus? Is that why you're here?
No. No, I don't want to live here. I just wanted to hit it big and go back home.
Oh, you want to hit it big, do you?
Well, I wanted to. Saved up all my money, got the ticket, got out here, went up to the casino, lost it all.
Oh.
Lost enough that they gave me credit. Lost all that, too.
Well, you wouldn't be the first person.
Yeah, so now I'm in a lot of debt.
Oh, I see. Well, it just so happens, me and my associates have a job.
I was hoping this was...
Remember the advice you gave me, man.
He's already told his real name and everything.
I know. Yeah.
Because he didn't want to say Shadow because then that would be suspicious.
Yeah, soft spot.
Yeah, he's probably got a soft spot.
It's going to be our undoing.
Well,
or you're doing. Maybe it'll make the whole thing work. Who knows?
Oh, I'm definitely doing something. Now, so it just happens that me and my crew here are planning a little job. All right? It's not exactly legal. But don't worry, we're professionals. All right? I'm very, very professional. And so you don't have anything to worry about. But we could use some help. And just being honest, we could use some help, and it looks like you could use a lot of help. And I think we could make a good team together. Got any special skills other than... Well, I won't be rude, but...
Jesus Christ.
I think you could, at the very least, you could provide a great distraction, or maybe you could charm some people.
Hey, nothing like a woman in distress to call some attention to, a attractive young lady. in distress to cause a distraction, I would be happy to do something like that, or whatever you need me to do. I would love to do it if I can just get out of this horrible debt that I've gotten myself into. That would be, well, that would solve all my problems right now.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, and what did you say? Your name is Riley?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, you need to pick a moniker, all right? That is the first step, and, what do you want to be called? I got a couple of names for you, but you should probably pick your own name.
How about Honeypot? How about Trap? I know I'm not there.
She was going to suggest Baby Ruth.
That's a good one. That's good.
Because she's got a little bit of nuts in her. And I didn't mean that in the sexual way.
Of course.
But hey, how crazy do you have to be to save up your entire life to fucking go to a casino on a different planet and lose all your goddamn money?
I mean, you act like that's not a tale that Vegas just lives off of
True.
Every single day. So.
True. But at least it's on this planet.
Also true.
Baby Ruth. I like it. Yeah, okay. Now this job, you might have guessed, and I think you have great motivation, because this job involves the casino, is it called the Aphrodite? I don't know if we even said, but...
yeah, that's what it's called. And we may not have even mentioned it so far on the podcast, but yes, the casino is called the Aphrodite.
Yeah. We're going to hit up the Aphrodite. All right? Never been done before, but there's the first time for everything. We're going to clean it out, and you're going to help us. And let me introduce you to my friends over at the table. Well, one of them's there for now. I think he's got plans. He's going to go chit-chat, but I'll bring you back to my table. I'll let you in on the deets. You don't need to know that much, all right? We're kind of workshopping some stuff right now anyways, so.
Well, she brings her plate of uneaten food with her and begins actually nibbling on stuff as she now begins having hope that she may actually have some solution to this.
I'll meet her in a minute. I'm going to say I'll be heading back towards the table. During that, I'll chat real quickly with that one guy. But obviously, I want to get back to her and confront this situation. But like, we split up and investigate at least one. We're leaving the dude with the laptop untalked to for the moment. But hey, fella. Sorry, I don't.
Now,
go ahead.
Before you, are you going to approach him while he's loading his plate up with shit at the buffet, or are you going to wait till he sits down?
I think timing-wise, he probably still would have been up there by the time we were... Yeah, because I want to go right up to his table. And the fellow with the top hat of the gentleman of the Asian persuasion, the lovely outfit. Hey, friend. Wow, I got to say, from one connoisseur of clothing to another, you have my compliments, sir, and I'll give him a little mock bow. I got to tell you, I love this... whole thing you put together. Hey, who did that? I'm wearing an Ocho Taylor myself, because it's a custom number. What about you?
And he kind of looks you up and down a little bit, and almost with a hint of like he thinks he recognizes you.
Fans sometimes takes him a while to remember you.
Well, he says, I design all of my own wardrobes.
I gotta get your card, my friend, because I'm coming into some money soon, and I'm gonna need some new studs. I'm gonna need some serious new duds.
He reaches into an internal pocket and pulls out a business card and hands it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on to that. Doesn't say like top secret villain or anything like that on the card, does it? No. Okay.
No, it actually says Hiroyuki Nakamura.
Oh my.
Magician.
Whoa, you're a magician?
Yes.
Well, I tell you, there are times, I wish I had a magician. Just so happens this time turns out to be one of them. Hell.
he snaps his fingers, and from a seemingly empty hand produces like, an ace of spades, which then he flicks into the air and turns into a bird and flaps away.
Oh! Now I'm damn glad for that high ceiling in here. Hope that bird doesn't shit on someone. That guy'd be like, "Hey, what the fuck just happened?" You remember now. Okay, you remember. Anyway, no, a magician, wow. Sleight of hand, all that leisure domain. I love it.
Yes, and I say, you look very familiar to me.
Yeah, let me do it again.
You were in the performing arts at some point.
Yeah, let me do it again. Watch. It's just like this. I look at you, you make a bird fly away, and I say, "Hey, what the fuck just happened?"
That
guy.
Man,
Yeah.
I can't believe it got canceled.
I know, it wasn't my fault.
That was the best show in prime time at that slot.
Well, a lot of people agree with you, but network politics and whatnot, and sobriety, issues. And,
so you're really skip intro, right?
yeah, I'm a skip intro. Yeah, hell yeah, of course.
Well, listen, I'm going to have a show. I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow night.
I was wondering if you were performing here. Yeah, tomorrow night
yeah.
at the casino.
Yeah, in theater number 2.
Theater number 2.
And you know how magicians often select somebody out from the audience to come and perform a trick, and seemingly at random, but
Sure.
everybody knows. Come on, it's never really
yeah,
random.
me and you, we're inside. Right. We're not. I'm not a howdy do that.
I think you might be an excellent choice
I do too.
to perform in this show.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm wearing an Ocho Taylor and everything. Hey, maybe we work something out, and while I'll do that, you'll be doing your thing, and Pow and I'll be able to look at the crowd, and I'll say, "Hey, what the fuck just happened?" They should have a lot of fun with that. That'd be a treat for them, I think.
And they'll recognize you. Yeah, I'm sure. It's been a while since the show was on air, but they'll.
No, that's all right. I've been doing all right. I did a car show. I did Foosball with the Stars, a game show, What's in My Pants. And there's don't forget the pop blocker, priapism treatment. Did that. But no, you're right. I'd love it. Just seems like a good time. A lot of eyes will be on that. A lot of people there at the performance. That's great. Hey, you ever made anything really big disappear? Just real quick. Just a quick question.
I made an entire yacht disappear one time.
Wow. Okay.
Made a mountain disappear
No shit.
on Mars. Yeah.
Mountain on Mars disappeared. Oh, hell. We got to get together for a drink later and powwow about the deets for tomorrow. I'm going to get back to my friends, but sir. And I'll take his hand, one of those two-handed handshakes, I believe it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship. All right.
Very well. I hope to see you tomorrow. The show starts at 7:30. If I see you in the audience, I'll call you up.
And maybe if this show goes well, we'll work together on another project. I'll talk to you about it. No, it's all kind of hush-hush, top secret. Not supposed to talk about it.
Well, of course, our people will have to be involved in talking back and forth.
Yeah, I gotta get my people. I got a guy. I point over to Black Hat. I got a guy. Yeah. Okay, great. That's my manager over there. Yeah. And all right.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, Mr. Intro.
Yeah, all right, okay. I'm back. He's truly impressed too. He kind of backs up nervously as he's walking away from him. Turns around, goes back over to the table. Hey, I just met this guy. He can make a yacht disappear.
And as you
Wait,
are
who the hell are you?
coming back, exactly. Laz is coming back with Riley.
This is Baby Ruth, and he's actually, he says that he's kind of try to subtly remove his wedding ring from his finger and hide it. Hope that she never saw it. I just met her. She was upset. Turns out she's got quite a lot of debt and is fully on board with our job. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. It's okay to bring people in if I assess them correctly, and I think I have vetted her. We'll do some more vetting, of course, but for now, I think she'll be a great addition to the team. It's not for you to question that, so...
They did elect you boss.
Yeah. I am the big...
I guess it wasn't an election.
Yeah, I was going to say, now suddenly, I don't know if he was ever appointed. I don't think we ever got numbers vote on that.
And he's sitting there, and you say that. I assume he's back as well, and you say that, and then, like, a requisite amount of time passes, and then he realizes you're talking about him. And he's like, yes, I don't believe that we did get the opportunity to vote on such things, though in this moment it's not important. I also believe that we were told to not, me as person don't remember the exact quote, but numbers, as you like to call them, definitely would, not blabber our dumb fucking shit to anyone else while we're over at the other tables, and it seems to reason that our friend Mr. Black Hat did exactly that, which is odd.
Now,
yeah, he did.
You
put it well.
There was no blabbing. I just, I assessed the situation.
Laz, says Riley.
Laz?
Who's Laz?
Laz?
Is there someone else as well?
Laz?
I thought this was a professional gig.
Oh, no, it's a fucking clown show, honey. You didn't know? You didn't know.
I've got control of the situation, people. All right, like I said, I assessed the situation. I made a judgment call, and
So I'm going to call Julian and check this out. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, you want to call Julian?
I'll make a long-distance call.
Oh, I don't think he's going to be happy to hear from you. Unless you tell him, job's done, here's your money. You better keep your mouth shut. All right? Julian is my good friend, all right? Now, and he's going to approve of what I've got going, all right? And, all right, so, honey, don't call me
honey.
Laz, all right?
Honey.
No, I'm not calling you honey. Honey, Baby Ruth, don't call me Laz, call me Shadow, okay?
Okay. Shadow, okay.
I think he'd probably rather you call him Daddy, Baby Ruth. Yeah, you're thinking with your heart. That's the best way I can say it, okay? You're thinking with your heart, let's say, in quotes, okay? All right, now, I don't like the idea of just green-lighting new memberships to everyone who bats a little baby blues at us, you know what I'm saying? I've seen these kinds come and go.
We're going to need her, I'm telling you.
Well, we got to use her now because you done already told her the whole thing.
Yeah,
and
but
then numbers
I told her
here
because we're going to need her. I assessed...
Oh, my God.
I did the math, and we're going to need another member. If we're going to get out of here nice and clean, like I hope, she's going to be the perfect, distraction or whatever you want to call it. She's going to allow us to get out. Well, then we'll send you your cut, honey.
Yeah, and I ain't splitting this, 4 whole ways either. So her cut's coming out of yours.
My friend Mr. Intro has a valid point here about the percentage of the take. And knowing how much that is, let me check my calculations again. It will not be feasible to give her a full share of what is coming, and for us to also be able to pay off our entire debt to Julian.
Listen, we're going to make out big, all right? Yeah, you want...
Difference between big and bigger. I choose bigger.
Well, whatever. I'm going to... All right, if it makes you happy, it'll come straight out of my cut.
That's right.
You don't have to worry about it. I'm
I'll
not in debt,
worry.
so I'm going to have a lot more for myself. I don't have to pay nobody. I'll have to pay her. That's it. The rest of it, hey, and Baby Ruth, you're welcome to live out your days with me on, on Venus, wherever you want.
So, yeah, that should really help get over your wife and kids that you were telling us
I don't
about.
have a fucking wife and kids. Who told you that?
You did.
All right, fuck. I'm putting on the ring again.
Now you see how it stands. You see how it stands, Baby Ruth.
Well, listen, wife, no wife, if you're on Venus, what's she going to do about it anyway? I don't know.
Guess what happens on
See,
Venus?
now
stage.
there's a catchphrase to be had there, that what happens on Venus. However, I also know what rhymes with Venus, and I can imagine where that would go.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll leave that to the imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could definitely keep going here for a bit, but I think we have a pretty decent little setup. I wasn't sure whether Riley was going to get involved or whether you'd even talk to her, but I think that having her be a part of the crew is going to be amazing, either because everything is going to go so horribly fucking wrong, or because it could be so helpful that it makes everything go right. So I think it's great. I'm really glad that ended up how it was happening. Of course, there is still the computer guy. You can ignore him, or it could be useful to talk to him.
Everybody's had at least some potential, use or interest. So, if we could do it in 3 minutes or less, I'd just as soon go talk to the computer guy now.
I would, and even on top of that, Kyrie is specifically like a computer whiz. Like I didn't mention this in my intro, of course, but he attended and graduated from MIT, a very, very technically gifted individual. And so if we could get a hold of that laptop in some way that Kyrie could have a shot at it, I imagine he could hack a bunch of information off of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that'd make a nice little round. At least we know we talked to everybody. Boom. End of episode. Always got to know when to end the episode so the audience doesn't say, hey, what the fuck happened?
Real quick before we get there, because I'm curious. So everybody comes back to the table. It's like, it's very interesting that, you, Skip, you appear to have gotten a friend and a magician, and Mr. Shadow Hat, you over here have appeared to have gotten a new friend and a girl. I did not make any new friends when I was over there. I did, however, find out some useful information in terms of ID badges and numbers. They're in 10-digit integers, and I have already started to mock up 78 different 10-digit integers that we can use in here.
Oh, thank God.
They also came up with they were talking about something I did not understand, in that they have to watch and these somethings that they have to feed on the hour every hour, and have to keep them sedated, and I did not understand that myself. I didn't know if that was useful information. Baby Ruth, I think it was. Well, now that you're here and you've been to the casino, what does that mean? Anything to you?
Feeding and sedating? No, I can't. I don't know what the hell that would be about.
I'm telling you what it's about. It's about one of two things: about giant tigers or sex slaves.
Yeah,
or maybe organ farming.
I was thinking, maybe they got dancers for the casino. They got to keep them sedated and fed. I don't know.
No, it is unsettling as hell. I'll give you that much.
Well, they also had stun guns, so there is some amount of force that we must remember and deal with as we get further into this. Now, about that gentleman with the laptop.
Yeah, why don't you go chat with him for a second? Make it quick.
Sure. I don't know.
Get his clue,
what
man.
Kyrie's angle there would be, but I guess Kyrie would. Yes, Mr. Shine intro. I will. He'll walk over there and kind of just sit down next to the guy, and
he just looks at you and kind of like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he just keeps typing and shoveling food into his mouth.
That's a very nice piece of machinery you have there. The model X42QM 194X with the 79 times 14 speed processor and a video card of this is where me as a person sucks
Right.
at computer stuff. But
Hey,
you get the idea.
You technobabbled him, and it's all good, and he will technobabble you slightly right back and say he'll go, yeah, of course, it's the latest Maris, it's the latest, all the money. I don't even know how much it costs. Boss bought it for me, it's the latest Maris. It's great.
By my estimations, I imagine that it would cost, and insert the exact number or whatever our currency in this world is. Exact. I would think it would be roughly that, depending on the sale and sales tax, of course.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, Nguyen bought it for me. He buys me all my equipment. I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's very nice.
Do you need something?
I wish. I was just admiring your fine piece of equipment. I myself did not bring any of my equipment with me, and so I'm stuck here with the OG. And he pulls out a pen or something like that. It's like
He actually does find that kind of amusing and gives you a little, smirk and a bit of a.
what sort of business you do around here, friend?
I'm the assistant. I gotta keep track of things and move things around for Nguyen.
Nguyen, huh? Nguyen, is that a video game or a program you're running, or?
No, he's my boss.
Oh, boss.
He's upstairs. Can't get him away from the tables.
Oh, I've come to find myself attracted to the mathematical possibilities of those tables a time or two as well.
I don't think that's what he's attracted to, but it's totally the chips for him,
Oh, yes. Well, the chips come from properly leveraging the mathematical computations of what's available and left along the wheel or in the deck. I'd hate to bore you. You're clearly a man of technological means. You understand that completely already.
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Well, I'd hate to take any more of your time. I just wanted to say I really excited by your equipment.
Yeah, well, it's great. I love it. It's great stuff. Nguyen always keeps me in the latest and greatest, so I can keep moving stuff around for him.
Stuff always needs moving. I appreciate your time. And he kind of stands up real quick and walks away. Turns around and goes back to the group of people.
Did you hack it?
Well, no, I would have to actually have it to hack it. I would figure
No.
someone as smart as Mr. Shadow Hat would know that.
Yeah, well, see, you're an amateur. What you should have done is you go up there, you stick a USB in the laptop, and you get all that. That's what they do. They stick a USB in there, real subtle like, and then you distract them with conversation. You don't know nothing about conversation, and then
Surely you can't just walk up to an available port and just jam your USB into it.
yes, you
You
can.
have to get permission for that kind of thing.
Consent, I think.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, you just stick it in there, and then you whatever.
Well, it's not a bad plan. Hold on. And he reaches back into that satchel, that backpack, and pulls out. Well, I have this USB. Perhaps you could go over there and distract him, which I'm going to need exactly, judging by the equipment and the specs that I learned when I was over there, around roughly 37 seconds of uninterrupted time that I can get in there and copy all the files over.
Yeah.
Can you distract him for 37 seconds?
You bet
Better
I
yet,
can.
let your little baby Ruth go distract him. Start
Well-
fucking earning your keep, honey.
Yeah. I was going to go up there and tell him what a big fucking nerd he is, and I was going to berate him for like 10 minutes, however long. But yeah, a big nerd like that is going to be really distracted by a good-looking gal.
Yeah. Plus, you go pissing this fellow off, you may piss off his boss, New Wang or whoever.
Oh, yes, they mentioned the boss named New Wang. Baby Ruth, does that mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah, he's a big time high roller.
Yeah. Yeah. Take this USB over there, sweetheart. See what you
Well,
can do.
I don't not to hijack anything, but I think USB is probably a little too hi-fi. I think you'd have to get like a floppy disk, something.
Okay.
whichever version of our current technology. I would think that within Kyrie's bag of fun, that he could, especially tech related, be able to pull out a 5 1/4 or 3.
Yeah.
Whatever it would be.
I'm just wanting to get the vibe right.
Yeah, for sure.
But it just also that to say it would be a little trickier because you would probably need to get access to like the keyboard or something to sort of like copy some stuff off. Not saying it's impossible by any stretch of the imagination, though. I just want to get the imagery sort of,
Hell, maybe
I
you should
feel as though the probability of my part of the exercise is high, as long as the lower probability part of the exercise, which is Mr. Hat, making sure that he distracts this gentleman for long enough for me to get access to that keyboard.
Or you can let you can also let Baby Ruth do it. Or I mean, Baby Ruth is kind of more of a wild card, like Mr. Shine. So I think she would have like a distraction at D10, so I can let her do that if you want, or
do we trust an NPC with such an integral part of our plan?
I don't know.
Well, it's just going to be the whims of the dice, I think.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, I trust Ryan to... he's probably got a plan for her, maybe, or maybe not.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, whatever you were going to tell her to do, she's going to do, is basically
Skip Intro is also a very, very persuasive individual with a long IMDb credit that he could rattle off, I'm sure. Which is...
Yeah, I think we get the best chance of getting your fingers on the keyboard. Either if you go over there and start acting like you're going to kick his ass, like you're saying, or send our little honeypot over. But either way, I'm actually less persuasive than you might think. My outfit's too alarming.
Yeah, you look like a fucking clown. And
You act like a fucking clown. Well, I might also add one more idea to our plan here, gentlemen. If our good friend Mr. Shadowhead here is able to go over and start a bit of a fracas, as you might call it, and then those other bodyguards over there, the security officers, might have to come over and intervene. That might give me the requisite amount of time that I need to access the laptop in the commotion, and also give someone a opportunity to perhaps relieve those security guards of one of their 10-digit employee ID badges.
True.
I would find that if we had both of those resources, that would increase the probability of success for our mission drastically.
That sounds like a heck of a plan. It's also like a plan that might maybe not happen right this second.
We might have to save that for
launch
the
that
next
time. Launch that next time. I like it though. I could try to go for the badge while you're going for
Yeah,
because I can declare I don't have any skills yet, so I mean I can have just the right skill at just the right moment. So anyway, whatever you want to do, Rye.
Yeah, I think that's. I think we've already gone well longer than I kind of expected for the first episode. So, but I do feel like we have a good setup. Like I said, I'm glad Riley's aboard, and I think we have a good, solid plan of exactly where we're going to start with. Attempting to get some information off of this computer. I think I understand what the plan is, but we'll leave that for next time, and we'll hopefully there's some useful information you can glean from it.
All right, cool.
All right, well, until next time.
Hey everyone, if you like this podcast, consider leaving us a good rating and/or review, and subscribe to us wherever you can. We've got a YouTube channel and a Discord server, as well as merchandise available at TeePublic. Find our website at GooniesWorldPodcast.com. Email us at GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com. You can find all those links and more at Linktree/GooniesWorld. Thanks for listening.